Good evening and welcome to the Bay St. Louis Planning and Zoning meeting of August 13th, 2025. We ask that you all please silence all cell phones and electronics at this time. We're going to begin with a short prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father in heaven, we invite you to preside over this meeting. Give us unity of spirit even when our opinions differ. Help us to listen politely to other points of view and to remember that we are all a part of the same community. Direct our thoughts, words, decisions, and actions towards the right path in the best interests of our city. We ask this in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Our first agenda item is going to be a motion to approve the minutes of July 9th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Breland, second by Mr. Romano. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. First application tonight is Breland. Application for variance to the zoning ordinance submitted by James and Lisa Breland. The applicant is requesting a variance of 2 feet resulting in a 3-foot setback to the side yard and a variance of 2 feet resulting in a 3-foot setback to the rear yard to construct an accessory structure. The property is located at 337 St. John Street, parcel 149E-0-29-322.002, Part 80, Second Ward, Bay St. Louis. The property is zoned R2, two-family district. Is the applicant here tonight? Yes, sir. Can you come up to the podium and state your name and address and tell us a little bit more about
James Breland.
the need for
It's,
the variance?
tearing down the carport, build a pool, back with a double carport, pool house. It's gonna look just like the carport now. Exactly.
Approved by- And guys, just for the record, in this plan was already approved, like the documents that he is in there, the carport and stuff, it was already approved by historical for the architectural look of it. And then I guess I didn't give it as great explanation. Like administration was recommended and denied, but it had more to do with not necessarily a hardship. It's probably indicative with the neighborhood because I want to feel like there's one letter that the neighbor next door probably has the same setback on the other side of, but it was just more that there's no, in our eyes, black and white hardship that was doing, not that it's not in line with the neighborhood, but
I do have some letters to read into the record, and then if any commissioners have any comments or questions. I'm writing to express my support for the zoning variance requested by James and Lisa Breland for the property located at 337 St. John Street, Bay St. Louis. I'm the owner of the neighboring property at 343 St. John Street and have been informed about the proposed project. The variance, which involves a request from setback of 5 feet to 2.5 feet from the property line to allow for garage addition and carport. It has been explained to me and I have the opportunity to review the plans and discuss the project with Mr. and Mrs. Breland. I believe the proposed changes are reasonable and will not negatively impact my property or the neighbor's character. I have no objections to the zoning variance and support the Breland's application. And please feel free to contact me if you require further information. Mike Biggs, 343 St. John Street. You will recall that dear Jeremy, you will recall that we worked together on the plans for my home addition and renovation project not too long ago. Your help and guidance were greatly appreciated, and I'm now reaching out on behalf of my next door neighbors, the Brelands, who live at 337 St. John Street. I'm aware that Jim and Lisa have planned some changes that are similar to the project that my wife and I recently completed next door at 335 St. John Street. I have seen the zoning variance request and have discussed the plans that I have necessitated the request. As you know, the variance request involves an adjustment of the standard 5-foot setback to 2.5 feet. I've had the chance to review the plans and know that the project involves the expansion of the garage and carport. Mr. and Mrs. Breland have discussed their plans with us, and we are in support of the approval of the zoning variance. My wife and I find the proposed changes to be reasonable and that this will not negatively affect my property or the neighborhood's character. I have no objections to the zoning variance and support the Breland's application. Terry Epton, 335 St. John Street. Is this? I might have a copy of the same letter. Okay, no. The same letter from previously read, but signed by Chris Roth, 346 Main Street. Is that correct?
mm, Probably.
It's a letter in support as well. I think it's the same thing. I'll read it. I'm writing to express my support for the zoning variance request by James and Lisa Breland for the property located at 337 St. John Street. I'm the owner of the neighboring property at 346 Main Street and have been informed about the proposed project. The Breland's property is directly behind our house on 346 Main Street. Our properties back up against each other's. The variance, which involves a request to adjust the setback of 5 feet to 2.5 feet from the property line to allow for a garage addition and carport. It has been explained to me, and I have had the opportunity to review the plans and discuss the project with Mr. and Mrs. Breland. I believe the proposed changes are reasonable and will not negatively impact my property or the neighborhood's character. The Brelands also have subsurface drainage to ensure drainage to the front of their property. I have no objections to the zoning variance and support the Breland's application. Chris Roth, 346 Main Street. Are there any comments or questions from the commissioners? And then I'll open up to the audience if anyone was signed up to speak for or against.
I would just like to speak on the record that, my last name's Breland, and I do not know Mr. James.
And you're not
or Miss
related.
Lisa Breland. I want to state that real quick, just in case anything happens here tonight, so. I like the last name, but we're not kin or anything, so I'm just gonna get that out. Thank you.
Let's see. Terry Epton, did you still want to speak? That's the letter. Thank you. If there's no more questions or comments from the commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we accept the application.
Motion by Mr. Breland, second by Mr. Romano. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Please be present at the next city council meeting, and that's going to be in this room Tuesday, August 19th at 5:30 p.m. Next application is Gluss. Application for variance to the zoning ordinance submitted by Robert and Lisa Gluss. The applicants want to construct a new residence at 230 Leonard Avenue. They are requesting a variance of 10 feet, resulting in a 15-foot setback to the front yard. The property is located at 230 Leonard Avenue, parcel 144N-0-19-086.000, 13 Block 5, Leonard subdivision. The property zone R1 Single Family District. The applicant here tonight.
And then just before, because I talked to the applicant this morning, whenever he came to apply 3 months ago, this is the 15-foot front yard is just to say, like, that's the most he would need. So just to remind y'all, if the variance of 10 foot, meaning a 15-foot front yard, is too extreme for y'all, you can make it less. So if you want to say, hey, 15 foot is, we don't want to give you a 15-foot front yard setback, we want to give you 20-foot yard setback, you could make that recommendation. And then, though it's not shown very well in a document, that's the front yard from the property line. He actually has, I think, 10 feet from,
It's actually 13 feet.
okay,
Measured,
from
yeah.
the asphalt, the beginning of the asphalt to actually the start of his property line.
All right, yes, sir. Can you go ahead and state your name and address for the record? And then
Robert Gluss, and I'm not sure what address they want. We got a Pennsylvania address or the address we're talking about. So it's the address we're talking about is 230 Leonard Avenue.
So the reason you're asking for the variance, it seems like there's a live oak tree in the.
Right,
you're
that's
trying to stay
one
away.
of the reasons we purchased it. We used to live on Leonard Avenue. We sold it, the store behind it, but then we moved to Pennsylvania, where I'm from. Well, we purchased this lot about 2 years ago. And anyhow, last year, after about getting 150 plus inches of snow, my wife said it's time to move back. So now we're looking to build on the lot. And we had it, drawn up and everything, and my wife and I went kind of laid it out. And when I laid it out, found out one of the pilings would basically go down to one of the tree roots, that live oak. So, and that's based on a 25-foot setback from the front.
Right. Do you know how far are you out of the tree's drip line, or do you know how far away the house would physically be from the trunk of the tree
Oh,
with
it's,
the setback?
I got a drawing. It's probably, I don't know, 30 feet probably from the front.
30 feet?
Yeah, the house itself. Yeah.
So if he puts it back 25 foot, he would probably have to do some decent pruning to one side of it.
Right.
But the
I don't
biggest
think we
is-
have to, though.
But the biggest issue is they have like a big stump. And I just don't, you might know a little bit better. If you go drive a piling into the live oak tree
Right.
root system,
Yeah.
would it possibly compromise and eventually?
Yeah,
Kill
well,
it.
we want to be at least 20
Right.
feet away from the tree to have a good chance of
Yeah,
saving.
we
I'm
are.
speaking on behalf of Miss Anita because I think she's out of
Yeah.
town tonight.
No, but I think that was just where one of his pilings of the back's gonna go.
Yeah.
It is gonna go in. You can see the root system
Yeah, I
kind
got a
of hitting.
picture, we got,
Yeah.
got real
It's
good
hard to
pictures.
cut
tomorrow,
through
so-
Do you have a
Okay.
picture?
Well-
Because we don't have a picture. That's okay.
This is at, just like this, when I lay, that's like the side of the house and the back of the house, and that's that tree root, you know, so. And here's like a little,
So you're not gonna put it there then?
well, that's where, if we put the piling there, it's gonna go right through that. That's
Okay.
why we wanted them.
That's why you wanna move, that's what I'm saying, that's why you, okay, that's why I wanna know why you wanted to move it
And
then.
then here's a bigger picture, if you were to, this is like the 10-foot mark back here, they're kinda way away from the. Like, talking to Jeremy, I said,
Can you show that to Amy then,
I'd probably
please?
should put that,
Then, and, sorry.
instead of 10 foot, we may have a maximum of 10 foot.
That's me.
Right.
Contract was that this morning.
So, I mean, you're going to try to get to as close to the tree as you can
Yeah,
without,
instead of 10 foot, I think we
without
do maybe
hurting
an
it.
8 foot.
Yeah. Right, right.
And
No,
then,
I'm always
the
for
setback would end up
saving the oak trees if you can.
it's over 200 years old and.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why we're trying to do what we can to save the trees.
Right.
Were there other comments from the commissioners or questions?
And all I want to say, if I moved it 8 foot, they get like a 17-foot setback, but with the be like a 30-foot driveway at the end of the street.
Right, right. I do have some letters. Oh, look, Miss Anita.
If you wanna sit down,
Jeremy.
here-
The Live Oak Registry is in favor of the variance request by the Gluss family. The lot at 230 Leonard contains a registered live oak tree, AVA, which dates from 1819. This 206-year-old tree is one of the older trees in the city and should be protected by granting the variance and by being fenced off during construction. Anita Warner, Chair of the Live Oak Registry. Jeremy, I would like to email my objection to this 15-foot setback variance. I think the 25 feet should be upheld. Upon conversing with the neighbor down the street, we feel that this could cause congestion. We value their input on this matter greatly. Best Burden Edmonds. I don't know what his address is.
He's the house
next
that's right
to me.
next door to him, and his house is like 40 foot back. That's
Okay. Did he know about the tree situation or?
yeah, like he
Okay.
knows about the tree situation. He's like, it's just his house is 40 foot back. Even if it's 25, he'll be still looking at the side. But
Gotcha. Was there anybody signed up to speak
and I
for
think
or
there's
against?
one on that one. Is there one other letter of objection on that email thread or no? Because there was another neighbor on there.
Hold on.
Oh, let me see.
Hold up.
Let me see. Hold up.
I just
Oh yeah, it would be.
Bing Stewart.
Oh, I'm sorry. Part of that email thread is
Okay.
this should absolutely be fault. The house is 15
See
feet
it
from
now.
the property line, so it will look like there's a bunch of cars parked on the street. Even worse, the stairs come out 15 feet, which we discussed, and it's Cindy Stewart. I do not know where she lives on the street, but obviously it's one of the neighbors.
Okay. Was there anybody else signed up to speak for or against this application?
I'd like to comment once again that 15 feet, like I said, is another 13 feet to the,
Yeah.
so actually
and
it's a 30-foot
if the
driveway.
stairs are uncovered, they don't count towards
Yeah,
the
and I think
setback.
he's going to go see about moving the stairs to the side of the house so they
Right.
don't come straight out in the front.
Okay.
Like it's dictated here. He's going to put them to the side of the porch so they go back.
No other comments or questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Ms. Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Cranky. As all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Please be present at the next city council meeting Tuesday, August 19th at 5:30 p.m. And welcome to Bay St. Louis.
Again.
Welcome back.
Yes, back.
We have snow here too.
Thank you. Pardon?
We have snow here too.
I know,
You saw that.
my wife from
Yeah.
New Orleans, that's what.
Gotta wait 20 years to get it again.
So we saw that last winter. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Next application is EMO Square LLC. Application for a special exception to the zoning ordinance submitted by EMO Square LLC. The applicant is requesting a special exception to allow boat storage and warehouse storage on property zone C3 Highway Commercial. The property is located at 707 Dunbar Avenue, parcel 149D-3-29-003.000, legal description 277C, First Ward, Bay St. Louis. The property is zoned C3 Highway Commercial. Is the applicant here tonight?
Martin, are you gonna give the history of this, or you want me? Or you
Well, that's
got
why I
it?
said that there's a history to
There's a
this one.
history.
There's a
Yeah.
history.
I-
So, yes, I'm Martin Miller. I live at 113 Fairway Drive in Pasquistan, Mississippi. Quick history is we bought this property before Katrina. For the next 10 years, we tried to get Rouses. We almost had them. Freds. We've tried everybody. And the problem with the property is that it's very deep. It's 4 acres. And when you're driving from Pasquistan towards Waveland, there's no visibility. Just the front acre has visibility. So after trying countless tries, we actually left the building up for years, thinking we could reuse it. We missed grants. Anyway, had to tear it down. We came with a boat storage plan, which was boat storage in the back that was blocked by the apartment complex, and retail in the front, about 14,000 square feet of retail space. Over the last 2 years, we've had issues getting pricing down. It's a $3 million project. So we got the permit. We had the permit. We paid for half the permit. We had a setback on the south property, 5-foot setback.
Yeah, along where the houses are on whatever, Ruel Street?
Ruel, no, it's the other street. It's Webster Street, I think.
Yeah, Webster Street.
Webster Street. So we had a setback. So basically, we got all our ducks in a row. We came to the city 3 months ago. They said, everything looks great. Your permit's still on the board. We need you to restamp your plans. We need you to do this, do that, update a couple things. We updated everything, spent some money. They said we need drawings of the buildings. Well, to get the drawings of the buildings, you got to order the building. It's a catch-22. So we ordered the buildings. We submit the final draft of the building plans, and then we get a rejection letter. And we were flabbergasted, like we were ready to start. And the rejection letter was based off the permit being 2 years old. And so we were kind of confused because we were told to get all this stuff together, and we just spent money. So we ordered buildings, and the whole thing was dead. We had a meeting with the mayor. We kind of tried to figure out how to make this work without making it messy. And we've basically redrawn the plan. And the initial plan was we were gonna do the back warehouse and then do the front retail once the back started generating income. And I think that was an issue with maybe the new administration. They wanted the retail more important than the back. So we took that into account. We redrew the plans, and we're basically saying now, instead of doing 14,000 square feet of warehouse retail in the front, we're going to do 5,000. We're going to take the best property, which is the front acre, and that'll be retail. And we'll agree to build everything at once. Versus before, we were going to build the back and not build the front. And in return, we're asking for basically the same permit. I mean, the project is a closed-door storage unit. So they're 40-foot units and 50-foot units with a roll-down door. Right, so the property has high elevation. We only had 6 inches in water in Katrina. Then we built a 150-mile-per-hour wind load. So we get 1 million calls a week about this property. Just people want to use it. So in the new project, we can't afford to have all the doors closed. So it's going to be a row of it, which you've got on your, and I think that I submitted with Jeremy. Some of the property is going to be open storage, which will kind of be the same thing that's on Longfellow. But you won't see it because the back of that's going to be on the up against Ruella, so you won't see that. So it'll be the same look, and then the front will do the retail. So we're looking for the same, and I think the setback wasn't listed on that, which I think is a 5-foot setback.
Yeah, so like this site plan that's here, they'd still have to come through, and there might have variances that they might need, but I told them to submit something to give y'all a visual of, in the city council, like what is gonna.
And the only reason that setback, if I'm remembering right, is 2 years ago, but
That-
setback was required because it backed up to a residential
Yeah, so.
neighborhood. Otherwise, it would have been 0 lot line.
Yeah, so, yeah, whatever.
Retail.
Webster Street, those houses are R3 multifamily residential. The property that we're looking at now and the ones to the storage unit to the back and the apartments are highway commercial. It's just you have to follow the setbacks
So I think what happened was that I know they built that storage on Highway 90. Nobody liked it. We've tried for 20 years to make this property work, and
Yeah.
we are sheltered by the apartment, so you're not gonna really see the storage units. I'm a developer by trade, and we build 8 to 10,000 square foot buildings. We're gonna lose on the 5,000 square foot building. Like, I just worked for a year and a half on a deal in Diamond Head, and I was so excited about this project. I was like, it's a slam dunk, it's gonna work. And after a year and a half, we had to kill the project because we can't get the rents in these smaller towns. And so that 5,000 square foot will be a loss for us, but we wanna do what's right, we'll make it work. The back will just have to pay for the front. But that's why I can't do 14,000 square feet. It would just, that'd be another $2.5 million project, and it'd be a $6 million project at that point.
So if there's, just so I can give you a little, what he said is true. Like, we have we have the site plan that we got approved 2 years ago. You know, we have expirations on it, so it expired. Variances, I think last month we had somebody that we approved their plans, they never started construction, they just had to come back and ask for the variance again. Not uncommon. But the biggest outlier in this, and I don't know, February or whatever, February of 2023, or whatever originally got approved, it was by right. 2 or 3 months later, the city council said, and he's probably right, that we want to kind of have control over mini storage facilities, so we're going to start making it by right. So how last time,
By exception.
by special
By
exception,
along the
we're not
highway.
going against them, but that's kind of where we are. So once we realized that building department couldn't issue a permit the way it was,
Right.
we told him to start back at square one. But the biggest square one was get the use allowed first, and then we'll go from there. So the 2 uses that he's asking for is just because the type of his building is boat storage is one category, so we're gonna have that one, and then mini storage / warehouse is another one. So those are the 2 by special exceptions that he's asking for.
But we're gonna kind of shroud both
Yeah.
things with the retail.
But like the retail building in the front that on here is indicates going to be developed, that's by right. I mean,
Right, it's a storage.
And I think I just told, when I met with the mayor, I said, look, I have a list of what I can put there, like school bus
And we're
parking.
not
It's
gonna like
there's
it.
an 18-wheeler, and I'm like,
Going.
I'm not gonna do that, but like, and I said, if you just approve the permit, that I still think the old permit's active, that's a whole nother story, but I said, if you approve this, you know what's going there for the rest of the next 50 years. If you don't, and I sell the property, somebody can park buses, they can have a bar there, they can have a smoke shop. I mean, it's a list, it's like you can store wood lumber there. It's kind of a crazy list, which I think might be getting changed. But they're a lot worse, there's a lot of uses I don't think anybody wants there.
Any other comments or questions for Mr. Miller from the commissioners? And then, is there anyone signed up to speak in the audience for or against the application? If no one
okay,
else-
and then just for the and though we have this site plan, once again, same thing with city council, they're going to vote on the use. If there's variances that are going to be needed, those are going to come back before you. So like, hey, we don't have a problem you doing it, but that variance we gave you 2-3 years ago, figure out a way to make it happen without. That's going to be y'all's call, city council. And then when the site plan comes back, if it indicated that it's going to be that front acre that's visible from the highway is going to be retail. If it comes back and he has nothing but storage units all over the same, he's like, well, that's not really what we talked about. So we're rejecting the site plan application for the fact that
So he'd have to come back for any variances, and then after that, he still has to,
Yeah,
whatever
it's
gets decided and approved upon, he'd have
Yeah,
to come
like-
back for the minor site plan
No,
review
well, it's gonna-
process too.
it's going to be a major site
Or
plan
major
for this
site
one.
plan review process
Yeah.
too. So we're gonna see it at least 2 more times
Yeah,
At least
before
2 more
anything
times or 1 time?
depends if you ask for the variance.
at the same.
I would ask for a variance and then you'll ask for a site plan.
Mhm.
So you're not just
You can't,
possibly hemorrhaging money.
well, been doing it anyway, so at this point, at this point,
What's
we're
more?
already on the building, so at this
Oh,
point,
gosh.
it doesn't make any sense.
I Okay.
And like I always state, you know, we're just a recommending board. I say
Sure.
this every time. What, if we approve or deny, it's up to the city council, so,
When I've met with a couple city council
Yeah.
members that are for it, I mean, they want to see it develop.
right.
Yeah.
They want to see the retail. I mean,
It would be not, yeah.
I mean,
would
everybody
say-
wants to see retail in the back and it just won't work. I mean, just, numbers don't work.
If you get it, it's gonna be retail that you don't want.
Right,
Right. It'll be like, yeah.
been down that road.
And
There's no
there's
shops.
nobody to speak
Oh.
or nothing.
If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Mr. Ag. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Romano. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Please be present at the next city council meeting, and that is Tuesday, August 19th at 5:30 PM. Next application is Fitzsimmons, application for special exception to the zoning ordinance submitted by Ryan Fitzsimmons. The applicant is requesting a special exception to construct a boat storage facility on property zone C3 highway commercial. The property is located on the 3300 block of Longfellow Drive. Legal description, part, Gidon Toomey claim, 46-8-14, parcel 138G0-46-163.000. The property is zone C3 highway commercial. Yes, sir.
Ryan Fitzsimmons, we live in Kenner, but we have several properties in the Bay St. Louis area. We do not currently own this property. Part of the stipulation to purchase the property is if we get approved for this. The property is not currently owned by me. It is currently owned by someone else, but we wanted to go through this process to see if it would get approved first. So this is, the intention is an open storage. I noticed there's one down the street on Longfellow as well. Basically same concept as that. Open storage with open gates, not roll down doors, not enclosed spaces for RVs.
I see you included the flood map, too. That's why it can't be enclosed though, probably, is because
Correct.
we'd have to have all the floods in.
Correct. And the intention was, we actually live right off, our second home is right off of Central, on Bayou View Drive East. And that new launch was installed 2 years ago, right on.
Yeah, so there's been a greater need for
Correct,
boat storage
exactly.
back in that area.
Exactly. We were trying to buy the piece of property right next to the launch, but that's way too low.
Okay.
If there are boats, they'll float.
Yeah. I don't want them to float in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions from the commissioners? Anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against the application? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion to approve by Mr. Ag. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Brown. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Please be present at the next city council meeting Tuesday, August 19th at 5:30 PM.
Here.
Yes, in
Okay.
this room.
Thank
same
you so
room.
much.
Next application is Jennings, application for special exception to the zoning ordinance submitted by Michael and Kathy Jennings. The applicant is requesting a special exception to allow an accessory dwelling on a lot exceeding 15,000 square feet. The property is located at 131 Keller Street, parcel 149L-0-30-20.000, Third Ward, Bay St. Louis, lot 60B. The property is zoned R1 Single Family. Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening. My name's Ed Wyckoff. I'm the architect for the Jennings. They live in Lafayette, Louisiana, but they spend most of their time here, as most people would. Their home was constructed by a local contractor, Garcia, and it has an attached, it's a detached garage currently with a carport. And we are requesting the garage, if you've been by the property, the garage has a pool that's been installed in front of it, and the desire is to turn the garage into a pool house with a second floor that will have a bunk room for, they have 8 children and multiple grandchildren. So they are looking to have a place for them to stay. So we're converting the second, or adding the second floor onto the existing structure so that there will be a living space adjacent to the pool on the first floor. Bunk room, essentially, second floor above that. So that is the accessory dwelling that we were requesting a special exception for. Also, if you've been by the property, you know that it's a rather large lot, so it is exceeding that 15,000 square foot threshold.
But,
Actually, they own multiple lots there. The lot that the house is on exceeds 15,000 square feet. An adjacent lot, which is their front yard, between the house and the Stanislaus band practice field parking.
okay, this is the application, we're gonna convert the existing
Yeah.
on this
So we're
variance
asking,
request.
yeah, there are
There's
two things,
two.
yeah, so
So I
there-
just wanna be, I was
I'm on the
reading
agenda
both and I was like,
twice.
wait, okay, this one's the
Yeah.
one, we're gonna
yeah,
convert what's already existing.
correct. There's
Okay.
as I said, there's an existing garage with a couple of garage doors, and we'll talk about that in the next one, but a couple of garage doors, and it's full of bikes and surfboards and waveboards and kids' stuff, and so all of that's gotta move in order to make that space a pool house adjacent to the existing pool. And of course upstairs, bunker. So we have to apply for two things. And the first one, of course, in this case, is a special exception for the accessory dwelling that we're getting.
Any questions for Mr. Wykoff or comments? I didn't have any letters for or against. Is anyone in the audience that would like to speak for or against the application? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
You moved it. Second.
Motion by Mr. Ag, second by Mr. Breland. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. In a hurry over there. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Next,
Now the second one. was-
yes, now this is
Yeah.
Jennings again, but hold on.
So it's the same property, same parcel.
Jennings, application for variance to the zoning ordinance submitted by Michael and Kathy Jennings. The applicant is requesting a variance of 2 feet resulting in a 3-foot setback to the side yard and a variance of 2 feet resulting in a 3-foot setback to the rear yard to construct an accessory structure. In addition, the applicant is requesting a variance to allow the existing carport to be 3 feet from the new garage instead of the required 5 feet per section 1002.3.f. The property is located at 131 Keller Street, parcel 149L-0-30.000.000, Third Ward, Bay St. Louis, Lot 60B. The property is zoned R1 Single Family District.
Paper. So, you'll see on the site plan that, and we've already discussed that the current garage, which is a secure garage with 2 garage doors, is turning into a pool house adjacent to the pool. And so they're gonna need an enclosed space to put all the stuff that came out of the garage that is now becoming a pool house. And so, so the plan is showing a new garage, single-story structure garage, reusing the 2 existing garage doors from the previous garage, and putting this structure at the back part of the property. The existing carport, which is just a carport, it's not enclosed, it's not secure. The existing carport extends well back of the property, some 21 feet or so from the rear property line. Now, the property jogged a bit, but with the location of the current carport and garage, we're somewhat restricted as to where we can put the new garage. And so in order to get a structure that is garage size, not exactly, it's 18 by 20, 28, I think. That structure, to fit that back in that back property, we are requesting that variance to the side and rear of those additional 2 feet. That allows me to reuse the garage doors and the sizes of that stuff on that, the width of the front of the garage. And I might add that they had requested this same variance and were given this variance years ago when they built the house 10 years ago. They never used it, so it expired. So now we're in a position where we can use it. We've got children with children, things expanding. And so this new garage, which is a simple 1-story garage, is going to be providing space to put all of the things from the space that become now the pool house. So that is the reason for putting it back.
guess,
There's two variance requests in that one motion. I don't know if,
Oh, yeah, you're right. Actually, there is, yeah. Okay, so in order
Side
to,
and the-
in order to keep the new garage and the roof line of it from conflicting with the roof line of the carport, we need to keep some distance from it. And so, the distance of 3 feet is the minimum amount of space that we need with the overhangs of the roof. And then with the added width that's needed for the garage doors, it results in that request of the 3-foot side yard setback at the spot. So there's a few things that are working here. Obviously, the fact that we're asking for the first thing, which is the pool house, and the accessory dwelling is forcing the design of the structure and
So you're
the
centering,
footprint of
you're
the structure.
centering it between the house and the, I mean, you've got equal difference all the way around.
Yeah, it's centered between, well, so if you're looking at the garage doors or the
Yes.
front of the garage, it's centered between the property line and the footprint of the car,
Yeah, in the back.
so that we have that 3-foot space there.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you project up, obviously there are overhangs to the carport roof that's already there. And there's an overhang to the new roof of the new garage. And in order to avoid any conflicts between those two, we need that distance. So,
Question, you had one.
Well, why wouldn't you just move it all together? Just have it detached from the home?
move what?
This one here?
Yeah, the structure that you're wanting to build now, the garage that you're wanting to build now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you have plenty of property space there.
So, can I?
Yes, you can.
It should be high, it's high.
Yeah, it's highlighted, I see it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so this is the current garage. That's becoming the accessory dwelling. This is the new garage that is replacing, is providing storage for what was the old garage. So this existing garage becomes a pool house with a second floor above it.
Right.
Adjacent to the pool. This is covered carport that's existing. And this is the new garage. And it's spacing between the existing carport and the new, right, in order to provide some space between the roof overhangs, and then it and the side property. And then also we're having that step as well. Does that help?
Yeah, in a way.
and just for the, I mean, y'all can all read, the administration's recommendation was the separation between the structures, we didn't have an issue with that at all, the variance that would be there. But we did have the denial to recommend the setback variances, and it just had more to do with, it's a 17,000 square foot lot. And I understand stuff exists there. But also, if the accessory dwelling wasn't, they're turning the garage, that's the parking now, into living space. So it's almost creating your own hardship of, I need places to store stuff, but that. But, so if y'all want to make two different motions, that might be easier for everybody to understand if y'all choose to do one or the other.
Well,
Just kind of for them parking in the rear of the house versus trying to park on the street because they don't have any place to park.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and,
store
and,
in the
and
back.
what, and the existing
Yeah,
carport makes it
Keller's skin.
difficult to use the rest of, see what I'm saying? It's, can't, you'd have to make it an extreme turn to get around the existing carport. And that backyard there, that's their,
I mean, and the concrete and everything's already there
already
for it.
there.
We don't, wouldn't want to pour new concrete on the other side.
Yeah. trees are,
Yeah. Anybody in the audience that would like to speak for or against? Yes, ma'am, you want to come up to the podium and state your name and address for us?
My name is Mary Ann Becknell. I live at 118 Bookter Street. My house is on the same property as the Jennings. Kathy Jennings is my sister. And although Mr. Wyckoff explained so well about what goes where, I feel that this garage, second garage that's going to be built would make things much simpler than trying to squish everything into the existing garage or that area. So, I see it every day because I walk past that area.
So you're for,
I'm definitely for it.
for the
Yes, I'm for it. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I recommend we move it.
Motion to approve by Mr. Romano. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, by Mr. Breland. All those in favor?
Nay.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
Nay. Aye.
Did we tie?
No.
Three.
There's
Three
five
to
of y'all.
two.
It's
So
three.
there's-
Oh, it is.
It's 3-3.
Is it?
It was 3-3,
Oh.
right?
Oh, sorry.
It was,
I'm sorry.
So it
was it not
Nay,
nay,
yay,
yay, nay,
Oh,
yay?
sorry.
Nay,
Okay.
yay.
It fails.
It's 3-3.
So
So
it
it-
fails
So it
It
fails.
fails for the lack of
of majority
a
consent.
majority.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But, so,
So it goes to council as
So-
a denial,
yes.
but it's a 3-3, so it's gonna be,
Let me ask you this, the setbacks that we're asking for on the side and the rear, 2 feet. If we were given the side yard variance, but not the rear yard variance, we could keep the width of the structure and still make sense of reusing some of the materials that are coming out of the existing garage. Just not, not get it 2 feet further back. So is
How about-
that an option?
we're just gonna take the motion that was passed, but
Right.
if y'all wanna amend something,
Mhm.
not the request, we'll go make sure to put in the packet that afterwards, talk to the client, and they would say, they're fine with it, but would y'all consider just saying, hey, they're gonna build it 5 foot, so only approve if you want to the side yard. and
Before they get
reject-
to city council.
Yeah, no, they can say, city council can say, hey,
Right.
we're gonna give you
Yeah.
the side yard, but not the backyard.
Without them
And
resubmitting.
also, this means that the distance from one structure to the other, which needs to be 5, but we're asking for 3, that wasn't approved either. So
Yeah, so, but they
we
can,
have to make sure that's part
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
or let.
Right, when you get to.
write me a well-crafted letter, and we'll make sure they get.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next application is Elkins, application for variance to the zoning ordinance submitted by Andrew Elkins. The applicant is requesting a variance of 7 feet, resulting in an 18-foot setback to the front yard to construct a dwelling. The property is located at 1870 Blue Meadow Road, parcel 136N-1-37-016.004, lot 2, Riverview subdivision, phase 2. The property is zoned R1, single-family district.
Mr. Elkins, before you start, I actually just found this out. They applied for a protected tree removal because there's a live oak tree on the back of the property, and Bay St. Louis denied the request because they said you have to exhaust all options before us letting you cut down a protected live oak tree, which is, I don't know, 10 feet from the canal. So that's why he's here asking for it, because we told him no for a tree permit and say you have to go and ask permission to move up your house. If they say no, come ask us again and we might reconsider.
Yeah, and also, obviously, Andrew Elkins, talking about 1870 Blue Meadow Road, and he's exactly right. First and foremost, we're not here to try to cut down a tree. We also respect that as well. And so when I talked with Jeremy, and he explained, listen, this is the proper route to go about it, then obviously that's why we're here. I would rather save any tree if we can. So we therefore would need to move the house towards the road, which we're almost on the very dead end of the meadow, by the way. That's where about 2 or 3 lots from the very end. So that is why we're asking for the variance, come closer to the road.
I do have some letters to read in. One's from Miss Anita. The Live Oak Registry is in favor of granting the variance request by Andrew Elkins. The property at 1870 Blue Meadow has a number of live oak trees that make this a very desirable lot on which to build. They provide much-needed shade in an area with very few live oaks. They are all the size protected by our ordinance. The trees should be protected during construction by fencing them off. Anita Warner, Chair of the Live Oak Registry. We received a postcard regarding a rezoning variance request from Andrew Elkins. He is building a home across the street from us. While we live in Baton Rouge, we purchased our home in Bay St. Louis in 2013. We have watched the 12 or more truckloads of dirt being loaded onto the lot across the street, 1870 Blue Meadow Road. Then we watched the grading and erection of a small bulkhead. The people managing this lot prep also blocked the drainage on the ditch in the front of the lot, causing over a foot of standing water after a recent heavy rain. With an open drainage ditch in the front of this small lot already present, I do not see how Mr. Elkins can possibly move the house 7 feet closer to the street. My husband is out of town on a business trip and we cannot attend the hearing tomorrow. To be more specific, we are not in favor of any variance of 7 feet, making an 18-foot front line to this about to be built home. We are against the variance. Thank you, Susie Harriman, 1871 Blue Meadow Road. Yeah, it sounds like she's directly across the street because she's an odd number and he's an even number. I mean, are you keeping the drainage ditch open? I don't know how that would change things.
Yeah,
Grading it open.
so I went by there, again, we live in Hattiesburg, and this is our second time to have a place in Bay St. Louis. First time we had on North Nassau, we built a house, raised our kids, sold it after mom and dad wasn't cool going down there anymore with mom and dad, and so now we have grandkids, and the kids want to come back to Bay St. Louis, so here we are. So the contractor I originally started with is now no longer doing the project. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, me being in Hattiesburg in a pretty tight work schedule, we're limited on when we can come down and see the lot. So to be honest with you, when some of these issues came about, and I did come and see kind of what was going on, I wasn't real happy. So I talked to Jeremy about the replacement of the contractor that originally started this project. And so now we have a new one that I had vetted pretty well. And so that's kind of why I'm here, the contractor's here, because I decided this thing is not going in the direction that we want it to go in. And I want to see to it that we have neighbors that are glad we're there instead of mad we're there. So.
No, I appreciate you're proactive about it, and maybe if you see Miss Susie, just let her know that was something that happened with the previous contractor, and we're gonna be a
Completely
little
understand.
more conscientious going forward.
And I guess this is first time I heard about that, but
I mean, that's a separate
yeah,
issue. That's
yeah,
not
no, but I
what
think-
we're meeting about, but just.
but typically whenever like something like that would happen, if they had a whole building permit, the building department would have called in, put a stop work order and say, hey, clean up your stuff before you keep going, because I doubt there's silk fencing or anything there right now.
Well, there's silk fencing there now. It wasn't in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm a little ashamed of the condition of the lot. So the prior contractor is gonna come clean that up and get all of the stuff out of there. So again, I wish I could paint a really pretty picture of all this, but it's not current. But I'm here now to make sure that this thing gets back on track. And that, again, we try to make friends down here instead of enemies. And that's the last thing we want to do when we have our grandkids down here. That's why we're here.
Any other comments or questions? I'll entertain a motion if not.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Cranky. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Brown. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Please be present. City council meeting Tuesday, August 19th, 5:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next application is Barnett. Application for variance to the zoning ordinance submitted by Lynn Barnett. The applicant is requesting a variance of 2 feet resulting in a 3-foot setback to the side yard to construct an accessory structure The property is located at 231 Cary Court, parcel 137R-0-44-018.001, 29 and 30 block 2, St. Charles subdivision. The property is zoned R3 multifamily district.
I'm Lynn Barnett. I live at 231 Cary Court. I'd like to just build a carport over the existing driveway. I need a 2-foot variance, get it closer to the house so the structure can fit between the fence and the house. I have a small metal fence there right now, which will be moved. There is a registered live oak on the west side of the house. This structure is going to be on the far east side of the house.
So it was originally set, the reason why it was moved is to protect that oak tree when
Yeah,
it was
so-
originally built. And I know Miss Anita sent a letter.
Yeah, like the house isn't centered, but it's because whenever, did you construct the house or somebody else construct the house?
I did not.
Whoever originally constructed the house, obviously they put the house there because there was a tree there well before the house was there.
Yeah, it's about 235%.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an old one.
Huge, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a
huge.
beautiful tree. So, that's the plan. I talked to Alan Graham. He suggested 10 by 20. The gable
I would
roof
think a
to
minimum.
match the existing house. So that's it.
And I do have a letter from Miss Anita. The Live Oak Registry supports the variance requested by Lynn Barnett. The property at 231 Cary Court contains a registered live oak tree, the bourgeois oak, oh, it's got a name, that dates back to 1805. Because of the size and location of this magnificent oak, there is only room to build a carport on the far right side of the property. Anita Warner, Chair at Live Oak Registry. Any other comments or questions from the commissioners? I don't think anyone in the audience was signed up to speak, but if there's anyone who'd like to speak for or against?
Now, the one thing that, I don't know, we don't have plans for this yet, but we'd probably recommend her putting gutters. So whatever, if it does get passed,
Oh.
gutters to make sure the water goes in the gutter system opposed to the neighbor across the street.
Well, it should fall straight into my yard,
Yeah.
which would go down the hill.
Okay.
There are a lot of trees. I don't know if that would work with all the leaves. That I talked to my neighbor, and he said it was fine. We didn't see any trouble.
Okay, just as long as y'all have a swell between y'all to get it to the street wherever it needs to.
I'll entertain a motion.
Approve.
Motion to approve by Ms. Brown. Is there a second?
Support.
Second by Mr. Agee. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. Please be present at the next city council meeting, Tuesday, August 19th at 5:30 PM. Next application is Bellamere Development, application for minor site plan review for a convenience store and filling station with an attached coffee shop submitted by Bellamere Development. The property in question is located at 1083 Highway 90 and is identified on the Hancock County land rolls as parcel number 137F-26-26009.000. Legal description Part 88 J. Buki Claim Bus Highway 90 and parcel number 137F-26-266-010.000. Legal description Part 89 J. Buki Claim 26-8-14. The property is zoned C3 Highway Commercial District.
So this one, I guess it came back like January.
Yeah.
Fire department was fine with it. Zoning was fine with it. Building, as they looked at it, was fine. They have been trying to overcome the drainage issues since then. Not that possibly the drainage issues were wrong, but it wasn't the most right way to do something.
Okay.
So, over the last few months, they moved. So if you go drive by this piece of property, it is higher in the front than it is on the back. So obviously you would probably drain to the back to a ditch that's 400 feet. There's a house there and stuff. Like, all right, figure out a way to get it to the MDOT drainage on Highway 90. And not that they have the calculations in y'all's packet, I think.
Yeah.
If y'all want to read the 100-page engineering report, but they have figured out a way to not impact the neighbors, and they're draining their stuff to the Highway 90 right-of-way drainage system to not interfere with Bailey's Lumber or the neighbor across behind them, Miss Nancy Niches. And then, they already got the approval, which was not necessarily a requirement, but they got the approval from MDOT to put it on there in for all the driveways that are gonna be cut off of Highway 90, or the one. But essentially, it's a gas station, and I don't know if they still do, but they have a lease. They're leasing out one side of it with a drive-through, as I believe they were gonna have a coffee shop franchise, regional franchise coming for it, so.
So is the recommendation still to table, or they were?
Oh, I'm
able to
sorry, I
get
did not
the-
update it. Can you?
Yes.
I meant to go, that was the thing that I was doing today and I forgot to post.
Okay.
If the recommendation is to approve,
Okay.
sorry.
Anybody in the audience with any comments or questions? I don't personally see anything other than the city engineer signing off on the drainage calculations. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Mr. Ag, second by Mr. Romano. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes. I'm gonna be recusing myself from the drainage applications. Okay, I'm gonna be recusing myself, from the Rains application, so Ms. Brown is gonna take over for us.
All right.
We won't get a tie, so best of luck.
All right, we have Will Rains has submitted a request for appeal regarding the denial of a tree removal permit. The property is located at 403 South Neatcase Avenue and contains a protected live oak. The request is to appeal the administrative denial and seek permission to remove the protected tree from the subject property. This appeal is required to first be heard and recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission before proceeding to the Bay St. Louis City Council for a final decision.
So, and I'm about to say, in the packet is, they asked to remove a tree because and it was just denied, so, though it's not exactly clear, the best we could figure out is they appeal it to y'all first and say, this is a public hearing, and say, hey, we think y'all misinterpreted and allow them to remove the tree so they can build the house, because whatever else. But it's going to go before city council. I thought originally it was just going to them, but they say have a recommendation from y'all and then they'll take it up.
Hello, Will Rains.
I'm Michael D'Angelo, standing in as attorney. Nothing controversial though. I'm just a Bay St. Louis, resident.
Two down there. There you go.
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
You can take, you got enough to go down there.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do you want to tell us a little bit of like the backstory or?
You know better
Yeah,
than
I mean,
anyone.
so we bought the little lot, it was an abandoned lot. We went through quite a battle of, getting the title cleared. And then, I mean, I knew the live oak was there. And then but I read the code, and when you read the tree ordinances, it talks about, there's some understanding of, okay, we don't really like this, but there's some give and take on, if we let you take it down, we can give you a plan to replace this tree with more trees. And, I even exhausted, I called like Taylor Tree Services, I called Q, and they said it's gonna cost between $75,000 and $100,000 to transplant it and move it. But then you have a 20-30% chance of survival. I was like, well, I was willing to spend 20-30 grand, something, but when they told me about survival chances were so low, I said, what am I gonna do? And then I had multiple architects look at it, they work with it, look at it, and what we're left with is only 925 square feet, and then you have to build a lowercase L, you have to build an odd, and so we ran into a host of problems. It's one, if I push a house all the way back to that lot and I have a whole packet, it then creates a fire hazard, because like let's say if I ask for a variance, but all the way to setback Then there's an old home that they probably built it 100 years ago. It's 2 feet from the property. Firewalls, it creates a narrow alleyway for a fire department to have to work in. The other thing is it won't conform to historic district standards. If you build some odd, modern, L-shaped home. I even have some pictures of, we had looked at some coastal Carolina style plans, and I don't think there was a house at 107 Sycamore. It's like, was like a copy off of that thing, the best I can. And I'd submitted all that with the initial application. We wrote a letter, how can we work together on this? And then, so yeah, another odd thing that occurred, like I'll let Michael explain like the 7-day fill it. Anyway, let you take over.
Yeah, there's a, I guess, in the code, it says the ordinance that, it should be approved within 7 days of filing. And I think it went over a month, 5 weeks. I mean, I don't know if that's anything that, precludes, denial, but, that is, one of the things that took place.
Yeah, and we had asked for mitigation on the permit too, or replanting, but none of that communication occurred. I had called 8 or 10 times, over the 6-week course, and I was trying. I'm joking with him. I'd much rather put the large retainer I hired for attorneys. I'd rather put that into more trees. Is that better for the city?
Yeah. I think that, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I mean, it seems like this is a little more, I guess, procedural. Like Jeremy didn't really know where to go from here. That's why we're here. It looked like they didn't really consider the application, but that's because he wanted us to come here before you to make a decision, make a recommendation.
So you brought the property knowing that the tree was there, right?
We did, yes. Yeah.
But did you know that the tree was going to be an issue when it came to development?
I did not know that. No, I saw when I knew that the city was more funny, or I'll say what's the right word there. Very strict about if it's a big old oak tree, 200-300 years old, it's got a plaque. Don't even look at it,
Right.
But this one, also I don't know if it matters, but I had done an arborist. I had an arborist make a report. I guess it's on page.
That one. Okay.
That's on page 20. What also was funny too is in the tree code, the tree ordinance, it says that a licensed horticulturist or an arborist shall be the tree protection advisor. And then I was told some man named Don Adams is the tree protection advisor. And I studied him, I looked him up, and the man hasn't had a active license in horticultural since 2010. So I'm like, who was the tree advisor? And we never, it was a lot of odd things that transpired. And I was like, there was like lack of communication, so.
Okay.
Anyway.
Did we have anybody that wanted to speak or in the audience that was for or against it, or any letters?
No, we don't have. So, and it's the way that this hearing is, like, we don't send out, you don't have to send out those little cards. I don't think we had a.
Yeah, it was.
We didn't even have to post it. Basically, this is just a public hearing, so it's not one that the general public, but this is just the body adheres, because generally speaking, a tree removal is a administrative function.
Right. And another thing too, I forgot when I was talking to planning zoning a couple times, couple calls, they thought that I also owned the lot to the right. I wish I did. I'd move the house in a second. There's the property is properly surveyed. I even have PPC stakes markers right next to the survey stakes, but you'd have to have an app on your phone. It's still overgrown. You'd probably have to have the OnX app or one of those apps to go look at it and then walk around. And maybe there was some confusion, as to what lot I owned or something.
It's right across from the
St.
Stanislaus football field. It's kind of an area that there hasn't been much
So,
development in for a while. We kind of want to hopefully encourage development. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
who owns
the neighbor,
property next door.
Philip Masiki was here with Keelan's 401 case, and
he's the house that's on the corner that we had to go do the variance for. That's on the corner of South Nikes and Union Street.
The one that got knocked out?
The one that they removed the house and they're building a new one. they own the piece of property right next door to it that's wooded
Right,
lot.
right, and we're
So-
trying to just hopefully put something big, you know, something nicer back there to improve that area, you know. We have good intentions, we wanna make it a second home, just, you know, like a lot of people.
Okay, is there any comments from the commissioners? All right, let's entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion
To, I guess,
to approve.
to allow the removal of the trees?
Tree,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Alrighty.
Nope.
4-1?
Yeah. All right, motion to approve, 4-1.
Thank you.
So you will have a council meeting, it's August the 19th, it's in here, and it's at 5:30.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you.
I'm back.
Y'all wanted me to pick that up?
Yeah, you do need to take.
And our last agenda item will be a motion to adjourn the meeting of August 13th, 2025.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. Adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Cranky, is there a second? Second by Mr. Romano, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Mr. Breland, did you aye?
Yeah.
Aye, all right.